Settle in for some fun. There we go. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online, and we're creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5.5. I'm actually running an Eberron Spelljammer Mecha Kaiju Bastion Campaign. Where the characters are overseeing the protection of an asteroid community that, hold on real quick, do I have that Roll20 open here someplace? I think I do. Hold on, here's the general world map that we're using. I use Roll20. Yeah, Eberron. It's an Eberron Spelljammer campaign. Here's the system. Eberron, each of these squares is 10,000 miles on this scale. So this is Eberron. It occupies a 10,000 mile square space, and there's 12 moons in orbit around Eberron that go out 22,000 miles. So this is 22 squares on either side. And then amongst these are the moon rings, the orbits that they flow. Eberron has them going counterclockwise. So this is the paths of moons going around orbit in Eberron, and in between the paths of moons is open space where asteroids settle. And these asteroids form vegetation that creates fresh air. So we have these ribbons of fresh air zones strung between these asteroids. There's not enough vegetation that exists in any stable asteroid, like say out here, that would connect this line, this patch of asteroids with this patch of asteroids. But if there was, eventually in time they would connect. But when they don't connect with fresh air, it's fouled air, or what we would call the poison sea. In Spelljammer Adventures in Space for Wizards of the Coast's Dungeons & Dragons 5.0, there's 3 degrees of air. There's fresh air, which is normal. There's fouled air, which is when you take a breath of it, you're poisoned with the poison condition until you take another breath of fresh air, and then the poison condition ends. And then there's deadly air, which can't be breathed, and you immediately start to suffocate, following the rules of suffocation that you would normally use, and we're using 5.5. So these are the different asteroid clusters. Each of them have potential dungeons and adventure, or are populated. So dark squares have civilized communities in them that we're aware of, the asteroid cluster that our characters are involved in, which is basically a union between Zalargo, Moorhold, and the Warforged that have reclaimed Sire as their home, but here they are in space. So it's basically the Syrian Empire, Zalargo, and Moorhold working together as an asteroid community to populate space. This is Breland over here. It's a city-sized population amongst those asteroids in Breland. I think this one's. I think we're gonna make this one Oundare. This is Droam over here getting the X for a hostile environment status. Droam is hostile with everybody. So Droam out here being an X. The Pirates of Lazar, the Space Pirates of Lazar occupy this square. It's a hostile space. And the Unseelie Court occupies, or the Undying Court, I guess, occupies this square, which came out of a manifest zone from the, I can't remember, Lamazia? Is that the name of the Feywild moon? Each of these moons aren't a physical location in this campaign. The moons are portals that, when the moon is full, it opens up a portal between the plane of existence related to the moon and Eberron's orbit. So, like, the two moons that the characters have to worry about most is Furnia in orbit here, which is the plane of fire and conflict, I believe, and then Phrygia is here, which is the plane of ice and isolation or imprisonment. So these two moon paths, whenever the moon is full, will open up, and either creatures that are native to that plane, to that outer plane, might spill out into wild space and start populating areas, like what we saw over here with I think it's Lamasia is the name of the moon, but it connects to the Feywild, the Feywild. And so, when it went full in this zone here, an invasion force of Feywild basically stepped out and occupied the cluster of asteroids that are in this space. And they eventually moved their way up here and started to conflict with the Pirates of Lazar, which is great news for us because they were putting heavy pressure on our community and the Braylon community that's over here. And like these clusters were basically uninhabitable unless you don't mind pirate raids every other week. So now that the pirates are occupied, Braylon has an opportunity to expand out into this asteroid cluster to perhaps create a beachhead. But the pirates are known for their willingness to dive through the poison sea to get to a target from a direction they don't expect. Most people don't like fighting in poison. All D20s at disadvantage sucks when you're in combat in particular. Just adventuring in general. So typical people will stay along the known pathways between the asteroid clusters to sort of Super Mario Brother their way around the world from zone to zone where there's adventure. So each square here is 10,000 miles. This is the cluster that our characters are currently occupying. They are currently the leading law enforcement in the territory. This is the 10,000 mile square that we were looking at before. Here, I'm going to push this over a little bit here. And so this cluster, so this is a 10,000 mile square space. Each square inside that 10,000 mile space, there's a 20 by 20 space. So these are 500 mile squares. The carrier that we're going to build today has a major helm. In this campaign setting, has a maximum speed of 10,000 miles per day, or roughly 500 miles per hour. And the Mecha and smaller fishing boats and fishing boat style spelljamming ships that are in this community have a 50 mile per hour top speed, or 1,000 miles per day, which is 2 squares. So each of these black dots represents a community. We're currently, our first Bastion turn is being spent in Scaver Cove, investigating some deaths that happened on a fishing boat. And after a series of investigation actions, the characters are pretty sure Kaiju did it and have a general sense of where they're at. So next session on Saturday, I think they're going to have a fishing party to go hunt for some Kaiju. And when they kill the Kaiju, they can harvest its body for materials that then convert into Bastion points that they can spend in various facilities throughout the different communities in the region to be able to basically get stuff. So there's not going to be a lot of treasure, like gold, like piles of gold and rubies and magic items that the characters are going to find on enemies, unless perhaps they're fighting pirates. Then maybe they would. But generally, any treasure that the characters want, they're going to have the community craft for them. And so there's one, the Capital Rock, which is the capital and the largest population center with around 3,000 people in it. It is 3rd rank. So first rank can create common magic items. Second rank, first rank has up to 100 people population, and can generally deal with quantities of gold up to 100 gold pieces in value, or a common magic rarity, and readily has access to 0 and 1st level spells. Second rank communities have up to anywhere from 101 to 1,000 people. And hey, Steve, it's good to see you. So a second rank, a village. So a first rank community is a hamlet. A second rank community is a village with up to anywhere from 101 to 1,000 people. Its second rank, it can deal in gold. Basically, it can process 400 gold worth of material or incoming wealth per bastion turn. And it's capable of creating uncommon magic or spell effects that are 2nd and 3rd level. And then you get the third rank bastions, third rank settlements, which are towns. And towns will have anywhere from 1,001 to 10,000 people in them. It's third rank, so they can deal in rare magic items, casting spells up to 4th and 5th level, and produce rare magic items. So that's what the third tier gets us. And there's only one community in this cluster that's third rank community. The character's only 5th level right now. So first rank equals 1st level proficiency. Second rank equals 5th level character proficiency. Third rank equals 9th level character proficiency. 4th rank, 13th level. 5th rank, 17th level. So like we were saying, that the Brayland asteroid community here has a population of a city. A city is anywhere from 10,001 to 100,000 people in population. It is 4th rank, so it can produce very rare magic items. It can deal in quantities of gold up to 40,000 gold, basically per month. And it's per day, per week, per month. It's per week, per month, per season, and per season. So a 5th rank community, which we don't have here in orbit anywhere, is a metropolis, which is anywhere from a city can have a population of anywhere from 10,001 to 100,000, and a metropolis, which is 5th rank, can potentially deal in 8th and 9th level magic, can produce legendary magic items, and deal in quantities of gold of 200,000 gold pieces per month. And it's anywhere population above 100,000. So those are the 5 ranks of communities, the size and their capabilities in general. So like if the team wants to start building more trebuchet, and a trebuchet costs 1,500 gold, then they have to be for them to get that item efficiently, they're going to have to be in a 3rd rank community, because a 3rd rank community can process orders up to 4,000 gold in value. And since the trebuchet is a mundane item, it falls under crafting, which means that they can effectively craft 4,000 gold worth of that thing on in a bastion turn. So they could potentially, in 1 week, they could potentially make 2 trebuchet, like as one order to craft me something, make me trebuchet. That 3rd rank engineer or workshop or armory would be capable of producing a siege weapon up to $4,000 in value, 4,000 gold in value. Since a trebuchet is 1,500 gold, that's 3,000 gold together. At 4th rank, they'd be able to do 40,000 gold. So if they had a 4th rank workshop, which is going to be huge in a city, then they would be able to process 20? Yeah, they'd be able 23. Yeah, they'd be able to make 23 trebuchet. It would be in a month. It would be on a monthly basis at that point, because of the size of the order and the size of the. Once it's like 1 week, 1 month, 1 season. That's the stacking of magic items or material costs. Like if I want to make something that's 40,000 gold in value, I have to go to a 3rd or higher rank community. It has to take a month to build it, and for the team to make and for the workshop to start construction on that item, it has to make a crafting check, much like a character would. We're using Bastion dice, which are proficiency dice, which we use in the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration for commanders. issuing orders to crew of NPCs that work together to like make attacks or maneuver ships and stuff like that. As a group of NPCs working in a workshop to build items for your characters, you're going to use the proficiency dice, because the proficiency die recognizes the randomness of teams of people working together. Sometimes they work great together because you rolled high on the Bastion die. Sometimes they're working horribly together because you rolled like shit on the Bastion die. So that colors the narrative of how they build that item. And so, like, if the die roll fails, like, for example, for you to put in that work order of Trebuchet, technically it's only a second rank item because it's below 4,000 gold in value, but it's being made by a third rank facility. So the DC for a second rank item is DC 15. It's 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5 ranks, 10 to 30. 30 is always the cap in D&D, 5e or 5.5. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5 ranks, 5th rank item. Like, to make a legendary magic item, you're going to have to roll a DC 30. Every time you fail the die roll, it creates a complication, which becomes an adventure seed that either the characters take as a side quest adventure, and when they finish the adventure is designed to resolve the complication that arose, preventing your crafting check from succeeding. Like, for example, if I want to put in Order of Trebuchet in Capital Rock, the 3rd rank community, it's going to make its check. It only has to roll a 15 or better. If I fail that DC 15, something went wrong that's preventing us from being able to get our Trebuchet built. What happened? And then we go into the random generator inside the Bastion Campaign workbook to build a random encounter or like a random scenario that becomes a side quest that in this campaign, basically the characters can take care of maybe like during one session. Each session is on Saturdays, they're 3.5 hours long. Each 4 sessions is 1 Bastion turn. Each Bastion turn is 1 week. The way the campaign is structured is that after that 14 hours of gameplay or that 1 Bastion turn, that 1 week of activity, the characters gain a level. And so we're starting at level 5. We just finished our first week of adventuring, and we got 3 more weeks to go, and then we'll be level 6. And so we're going to proceed from the campaign from level 5 to 13 in 32 weeks, broken up into 8 separate Bastion turns, where the world changes and evolves with new, like, adventure, like monster of the week scenario, where different kaiju or threats are arriving to harass the community, that when the characters deal with it, they then salvage what they can off of basically the spoils of battle. They loot the bodies and recover materials like exotic chitin or crazy claws or like weird glands that create poison or darkness splurts or whatever. Whatever it is, the kaiju they harvest it for parts, and the players can be imaginative about what they're harvesting, and depending on their die roll of their harvesting checks will result in how many Bastion points they gain, which they can then use as basically temporary money to purchase favors from the different communities, presumably the community that just got attacked by the kaiju. Some of those resources are going to be eaten by repairs. If the kaiju actually damages the community, they lose Bastion points like hit points. And when you lose Bastion points, you lose access to different facilities, or you reduce the amount of work that those facilities can do until they're repaired. So when the characters invest Bastion points, it acts as a healing spell to recover Bastion points so they can get back on track with what it is they're supposed to be doing. So when the characters defeat the kaiju and harvest their materials to gain Bastion points, they can invest them basically as healing potions into that community that was attacked by the kaiju, and any points that are left over, the team can then use to purchase work orders and favors and information from the different facilities to help them with wherever they're going with their adventure. And we're currently, what'll happen is this will be basically a procedurally generated narrative, randomly generating what kaiju is going to attack each community, where the characters are at when the kaiju attack, the travel time needed to get to and protect the community from the kaiju that's attacking. If they're on time, depending on how long it takes them to get there, the community will take more damage. And then when they defeat the kaiju, they'll randomly roll into how many Bastion points they get to repair. And then the Bastion points roll dice to see randomly how much of the facilities are repaired. So it's possible that they could burn through all of the resources that they gained from the kaiju and not even get the facilities fully up and running again, and basically at a standstill. So they don't gain any free Bastion points during that battle. They might then want to get creative about what can we do to generate more Bastion points for us to do things. And now they're looking at the game as an economy instead of instead of quest giving. Like, you can give yourself a quest if there's something that you want. Like, for example, the team knows that there's only one major spelljamming helm in the community, one ship that's capable of going 10,000 miles per 24 hours, and it's the carrier ship that the Mecha are on that acts as basically the mobile police station, as well as the merchant caravan that brings materials to all these different communities. Like, for example, Scabbers Cove, it's only a first-rank community with about 90 fishermen in it, but it has a third-rank facility on it that is a really well-structured fishing guild. And so it's third rank, but it's in a first rank community. So that first rank community can't provide the resources, manpower, expertise, and materials needed to operate as a third rank facility inside that community. So they have to import materials. So the third rank Capital Rock here at point 1-1-3. So it's the first community, Capital Rock, and it's third rank. Scabbers Cove is the 6th community, and it's first rank. So the third rank community on Scabbers Cove, if it was cut off from the rest of the communities, it would erode down to first rank, because, again, Scabbers Cove isn't capable of providing the resources and wealth needed to keep a third rank facility going. So we have to import those materials from Capital Rock. And so our carrier ship, which is also the merchant caravan, on a weekly basis, well, actually on a monthly basis, because a third rank facility only needs to be restocked every month. A first rank facility needs it every week. Second rank and third rank need it once a month, and fourth and fifth rank need restocking once per season. And so the characters only need to travel from Capital Rock to Scabbers Cove once a month, and it's only a 3 squares away. It's only a 3-hour trip for the carrier to get there, but then you also have the loading time. So it basically takes a day to load and then travel to Scabbers Cove and then unload the next day and then be able to disembark. So that's basically like the pattern of movement. Second rank facilities can be tended to by second rank communities. A lower rank facility can obviously do fine in a higher rank community because there's an abundance of resources and you're not taking a lot of them. But again, whenever you have a facility that is outranking its community, it has to import the goods, the materials, the lifestyle, and had to acquire that manpower and the knowledge to make those fourth rank decisions from a fourth rank settlement. So if the team is capable of, say, evolving Capital Rock from third rank to fourth rank, the only fourth rank community that we know of is, again, over here in Brayland, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 5 squares away if you're willing to go through the Poison Sea. Otherwise, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-day travel to go the long way around. And that's so close to Pirates of Lazar territory that you might get ambushed on your way through. So often it would be worth it to go through the Poison Sea. But there's a manifest zone that got dumped here by Frisia's last full moon coming by. It's now deadly cold in this region of the Poison Sea. So you can't just go through there for days because it will kill you from cold unless you're immune or resistant to cold damage, which most people aren't. So it's a deadly journey. We have to go the long route around, and we haven't had communication. We haven't had delivery or any kind of connection or import coming in from Brayland for almost a month now. About the same time as the Manifest Zone was here, and about the same time that the Pirates of Lazar and the Unseelie Court officially went to war with each other. So this territory is becoming a fallback zone for the Pirates of Lazar that are needing to retreat from the Unseelie Court's forces. So this is becoming a dangerous spot. If the Unseelie Court pushes all the way up and takes the Pirate of Lazar's home, the pirates might have to back off towards Brayland or even start populating our neck of the woods. And if that's the case, then we're going to have trouble because the pirates we were being picked on by them. It was dangerous. The only reason they wouldn't really bug us is because we have really big ships. Dwarven citadels are huge compared to the hammer ships the squid ships that they have. So we had enough strength, and Brayland has enough strength because it's a city, so it has access to 4th rank options, so it is a powerful organization unto itself. So mostly the pirates have just been preying on any kind of commerce going between our community and theirs. And while they were in control over here, there's also potential commerce trade or raiding that's happening here. And since they don't mind dipping across the sea, they could harass Brayland closer to the home, or even call them all the way up here into Aundair so they're not shitting too close to where they eat. They could drift through the Poison Sea for a few days, use this as a resting spot, and then jump in here, attack Aundair, back out, and then pop across the Poison Sea again, back to their normal home territory. So that's kind of the campaign in a quick nutshell, I guess. Hey, what's up, Gabby? Doing really good, thanks. Oh man, I'm sorry. I hate that too. Game canceling is just the absolute worst. And normally I'm so bummed out about it that I'm not like, oh man, this is time I can spend to further prepare the adventure so it's extra good when they actually do show up. Most of the time I'm just gonna play some chess and forget about it. So cheers. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna build the Dwarven Citadel. We're gonna build a carrier for the Dwarven Citadel. We had done this before, but I didn't like it, so I want to build a new one. So we're going to tap out of this. We're going to drop over here, and actually I'm going to grab the Bastion Campaign book. That's okay. And I'm going to grab the orbital material that we have in general for the campaign. Go ahead and just click OK on that. Thank you. And I'm going to extract this as a separate folder. This is the summary book that I've been building. Like here's the 6 communities as they stand, and then since we're starting Scaver's Cove, I built basically a primer for Scaver Cove. There's 3 significant Bastion facilities inside of the town because after all it is just a hamlet with like 90 some odd people in it. So it doesn't have a lot going on. So what it does have going on is Fishmonger's Hook, which is the guild hall for overseeing the fishing operations. It has 20 people working at the Hook. It has training facilities for mercenary constables that are basically the security force in the ring where we do our fishing. Oh wait, let me pontificate a little bit further. There we go. What I didn't show was Scaver's Cove specifically. Scaver Cove is a 12-mile diameter asteroid planet. Here's what we built this. We basically tore it apart into a D20 using the old campaign builder handbook from 2nd edition. It takes a world is a 20-sided die, so you break down the 20-sided die into 20 triangles, which matches the facing here on your D20, right? Each of them is a triangle. So if you break down and make this icosahedron, if we made it flat, it would look like this, where it's just basically 20 connected triangles tiled together. Here's our equator. Here's the Tropic of Cancer up top, Capricorn and Cancer on the bottom, I think. And so these triangles represent the South Pole. These triangles represent the North Pole. This is representing the equator, and these dots are representing basically farmland that NPC residents oversee. The square represents the Hamlet storehouse where they put all their grain materials together to then be picked up by us or other carriers, like smaller craft. Any craft that's up to 50 feet in size can use a small, lesser spell jamming, a minor spell jamming helm, which we talked about earlier, can do 1,000 miles per day, which is 2 squares on this map, because each of these squares is 500 miles. So in 24 hours, the smaller craft, including the Mecha, can do 1,000 miles, 2 squares. So it takes 2 days to go from Capital Rock to Scaver's Cove, while it only takes about 3 hours for our carrier ship with a major spell jamming helm to carry all those materials there, be done, and then bug off. So when there's 6 different communities that are trading goods, and there's kaiju threats and pirate threats and all sorts of crazy crap, you're going to be busy policing, like literally policing around different areas while you're transporting goods from one location to another. So the team actually has a lot on their plate that they don't have to manage at all, because we just randomly roll where are you at and where is the threat. If they're in the same place, good luck. If they're far apart from each other, there's going to be a time delay, and if it's a kaiju attack, that means that community is going to get hurt while it takes you time to arrive there. And that's part of the system. You resolve the kaiju, you harvest it for parts, gather Bastion points that can then be spent to repair the Bastion facilities to get the place back up and running. But any points that are left over, the characters get to keep for them to develop additional facilities, or to issue work orders to make stuff for them, or to research new spells, or create magic items for them, or hunt like rumor hunting. I've got some sunlight poking through. It's I'm in Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, and it stays light, crazy late in the summertime. Normally, most of the year it's dark out and there's no light coming through. But I was smashing flies that got caught up in the windows. I smashed them by hitting the blinds, and it stuns them, and then I squib them. So I open the blinds. It attracts the bugs to the sunlight. I close the blinds to get trapped between the glass and the blinds, and then I smash the blinds until I hit the bug. It hits the sill, and then I squash it, and now it's gone. There's probably better ways to kill flies, but that's mine, and it seems to work. So cheers. All right, so we're going to build the carrier that's maneuvering supplies back and forth. We're going to jump down here into Photoshop to build along with. Here's the 5 mecha that we made for our characters. The Battlesmith Artificer has a wolf mecha. Our Void Hunter Dwarven Ranger has a what's the name of that show? Gurren Lagann has like a squat body sort of heavy tanky mecha. We have a monk of the open hand, so it is a unarmored. It's a unarmed attack mecha. It's fast maneuverable. We have a wizard that has an eldritch cannon and a tanky build for hit points, and then we have a rogue sniper that is basically a tripod with a giant mounted cannon on it that acts as a sniping cannon for his mecha. Each of these are 5-foot squares, so each of these mecha occupy a 20 by 20 square. They're effectively gargantuan in size, and a minor helm is capable of operating anything up to 50 feet in size. So as the characters gain levels, at 9th level we'll get the 3rd rank, because again there's 5 ranks and it's level 1, 5, 9, 13, 17. So 3rd rank is 9th level. When the characters get to 9th level, they'll have the ability to acquire 3rd rank mecha, which are 30 feet in size instead of 20 feet in size. And yeah, at 5th rank, 50-foot mecha, that's the maximum size that a mecha can still be piloted by a minor helm. And then you can scale up from 50 feet to 100 feet, 200, 300, 400, up to 500 feet in size for a major spell jamming helm, which is a rare magic item. Minor helms are uncommon. They only cost 400 gold. They only take a week to make. They're pretty easy. but we need to have we don't have the facilities online yet in the communities to be able to grant that material to the characters. So if they want to start making more mecha or different, like if they want fighter craft, for instance, to be able to have high-speed skirmishing with flying creatures perhaps, then they could start putting in work orders to build fighter craft, which generally are going to be anywhere from 400 to 2,000 gold in value, depending on what they're made out of and how big are they. And then the Spelljamming Helm that goes into them is 400 gold as an uncommon magic item, which takes a week to build. So if they go like with small 20-foot fighter craft, like really small craft, even like 15-foot fighter craft, they could easily have those made in a week. And then if they issue an order to have a helm built with it, each two facilities would be required to make one ship and helm. So they would need to have a total of 8 facilities, 4 workshops or shipwrights to make the ships, and then 4 different workshops or armories or reliquaries to make the spelljamming helms. So they need to establish, as player characters, they need to establish control over these different communities to be able to get that amount of to get those types of resources under their belts, so that as they get into 9th to 13th level, they can start looking beyond what are we specifically doing with these communities, and is there something bigger going on that we want to get involved in outside of our own space. But that's going to be contingent on them using Bastion points to build up enough resources for these communities to protect themselves, so that the characters don't always have to come running for help. There used to be more sheriffs in town, but when that cold snap came in from that manifest zone and was starting to threaten our crops in the northeastern region, they had to go investigate what's going on, and they left a month ago and they have not come back. To make it worse, one of the second in command, he up and stole the other major spelljamming helm ship that they have and defected to the pirates of Lazar. So he just up and ditched us, and to join the pirates he had to steal a ship. So we had 3 major spelljamming helms. One got stolen, another one is lost in the poison sea right now, and the third the characters are using. So for them to be able to venture outside of their community, they need more major helms, or they need to get a teleportation circle up and running. Just so happens that their teleportation circle is down, and that dude the guy that ran the teleportation circle defected with the pirate. So they lost their teleporter. Their teleportation circle doesn't work anymore because it was damaged during the what's the word I'm looking for? The not an insurrection, the heist. Basically, the ship getting stolen, they also disabled the teleportation ring when the teleport specialist left with that pirate. So the team has a teleportation circle, but they're not qualified until the characters get to 9th level. They're not qualified themselves to fix or operate it. If they want to find somebody in the meantime that's capable of doing that, they're going to have to find somebody outside of their community, because a teleportation circle is a 3rd rank facility, so you need to have access to 3rd rank personnel to be able to operate it. And while our community is 3rd rank, Capital Rock, where the teleportation circle is 3rd rank, it already had a guy that operated the teleportation circle. His assistants some of them left with him. The ones that are still here are only 1st rank NPCs, so they need to acquire more skill and increase their rank for them to be able to properly operate the teleportation circle. You see how that works? It all works in tandem together up these 5 ranks. The facilities and communities with personnel all need to be 3rd rank to make that run smoothly without any kind of complications. And anytime complications arise, it builds adventures for the characters to go on to fix what the complication was. So we'll be, again, as the characters get more involved in the facilities and using them to do things, the more likely something is to go wrong along the way, because they have to roll these are all skill challenges basically that they're making to pass the crafting check, to operate the teleportation circle, to create magic items, to scout for information, to rumor monger, to recruit new people. These are all ability checks that the Bastions make on behalf of the characters, or add bonuses to the character's roll if they make that action their downtime activity. So like the characters could go in and they could use the facilities to make a magic item themselves using their ability checks and crafting to do so, but or they could issue it to the NPCs in the facility to do it while they're off doing something more important, or they could work together. I could issue an order spending a Bastion point to have the facilities personnel help me make the magic item. So now instead of like rolling a d20 plus d6 plus 3 to make that magic item for my character, or instead of my character rolling d20 plus 8 to make that item, it would now be with the Bastion facility helping me make the magic item. I would roll d20 plus 8 on my own plus d6 because I have the assistants helping me. So it's kind of like an extended, elongated, or an extended Bard Inspiration die roll that gets added to your d20 test. So that's essentially how the entire system works. And we've ran like maybe 100 episodes of Bastion campaigns. You can look up the Bastion campaign live stream playlist on my channel down below, and it'll show you creating the system, breaking down how Bastions in the DMG 5.5 work, deconstructing them, rebuilding them into the 5 rank system that I just described, and then taking each of the individual Bastion facilities that are listed in the book and adding onto them, breaking them down into 5 different ranks of progression. The higher rank of facility, the larger it needs to be, the more personnel that it requires, but the higher die roll it adds to ability checks when you make them. And they all have their own unique abilities that will scale from rank 1 to 5. So, like, for example, an armory is a first rank facility. So a first rank Bastion and a first rank community would be capable of supporting an armory. Very easy. You only need to have one guy that's basically there sharpening swords and reinforcing shields in his spare time, and that's your first rank armory. They can get some stuff cobbled together for you. Just give me a little bit of time to do it. But like, for example, a second rank laboratory, I need to have a second rank Bastion to put a laboratory in it. And it'll still start off as a first rank laboratory, but I had to have a second rank Bastion to be able to put the laboratory in the first place. So similarly, the teleportation circle here is a third rank facility. And so I had to invest 3 points into the teleportation facility in my Bastion to get that teleportation circle. 1 point each. So 1 point for first rank, 1 point for second rank, 1 point for third rank. I can only advance the rank of facility once per Bastion turn, as it takes time to integrate and upgrade new materials, personnel, and space. I also need to recruit people. So when I am expanding, like say if I'm increasing the rank of this armory from first to second rank, I need to be able to I need to be in a second rank community where I can find people that are skilled enough to be second rank themselves. And I go from needing only 1 hireling to needing 2 more to get the second rank. So I can spend the Bastion point and automatically begin construction of that facility, but it won't be operative until I succeed the ability check to recruit new people, which is basically the Bastion making a charisma check. Or if you personally take control of the operation, it is your charisma check, and again using that Bardic Inspiration die to add to the results. But you have to be headhunting for that personnel in a community that will be equal to the rank that you are creating. So if I'm creating a first rank teleportation circle, once I have a third rank Bastion, I can qualify for making a teleportation circle. So I'm going to have to go to a third rank community because it's a third rank facility to go find those people. An armory, a first rank armory, since I could get access to that first rank, I only need to be in a hamlet of up to 100 people. I'll find a blacksmith that can sharpen swords. That won't be difficult. But once I get that armory up to third rank, and they're building like energy trebuchets, needing magical capabilities, like to be able to do alternate damage other than piercing and bludgeoning or slashing damage, I'm going to need to go to a community that's also third rank, because that armory has advanced to the point where it requires a level of mastery that you're only going to find in large groups of people. Where are large groups of people? In larger communities. What are the larger communities? First, second, third, fourth, fifth rank, hamlet, village, town, city, metropolis. It all curves together elegantly into a 5-tier system, which is really what's so excellent about designing for 5.5 or just D&D 5e in general. It was my Eberron game that had cancellation. Oh yeah, that sucks. Yeah. It's sad when your game gets canceled. I always feel bad. Okay, so that's a quick breakdown. So we are going to be building our actual carrier ship. So let me fold this stuff up. I'm going to open up a new folder here, and we're going to call this carrier. Go down here. We're going to call this Mecha. We made the 5 mecha for our characters, and now we're going to build the carrier ship for the characters. A carrier can be a major spell jamming ship, can be up to 500 feet in size. So, dun dun dun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure I did it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if everything's going right, yep, everything's going right. So that all syncs up. And drop the opacity on that. And then add in another one. So theoretically, when we originally started this, we just built just a giant asteroid, a 500-foot asteroid, and basically put a tower on it and gave it a steering wheel, and we're good to go. Cut a hole in the front, cut a hole in the back, and that's our hangar entry. We made basically it hollow in the bottom, from the back of its head through its mouth, to act as like a run-through landing plane, like Battlestar Galactica carrier ship. Sort of the same idea. But I've since not really enjoyed that. So I wanted to do something different. I just wanted to rebuild it. Plus the 500 feet in size, it really is just stupid massive. And doesn't necessarily need to be. So this is 500 feet here. And so what I'm thinking about instead is to do something, I'm thinking of a shape kind of like this. I want it to be 500 feet in size. So I'm doing the full length. But I'm thinking something like this. Where this will be a through line. This will be, so this is going to be the military level. Like here and above is military. Here and below is civilian. So like civilian shit, like carrying cargo from town to town, for instance. Let's see. I need to think about planar gravity. This feels like it's technically the center point. So I'm going to drop this down a little bit. So center of gravity stays down here. I'm going to build this out a little bit more. That's going to cause it to flip. Hold on. Okay, so I learned a trick when we were doing Vokath's crab. Is being a snuggle bug. That's adorable. Cats are awesome. Okay, great. Let's go here. We'll build this out like that. We'll build this out like this. I'm already liking this a little bit better. So, okay, so here's the trick that I picked up from Vokath's crab is you can make a zero gravity space. If our central gravity is here, and if we make that empty, it's just empty space. Like literally, it just floats. And so when something floats through, you either say, let's go here. Let's make a floor here, and then make a floor here. this becomes like a zero gravity point. It's like a stasis field, a zero gravity zone, and so things can basically just float through here uninterrupted, unless you close the gates, and then it stays trapped inside. And so if there is gaps here, so when these things are bobbing along, and if you stop them here, they come to a stop, and you can either use a winch to pick them up here, or you could use a winch to pick them up here. So if I flip it upside down, the bottom now becomes up. And this interior space, this is down, just like this is down when we flip it back. So free transform, flip it back vertical. That's how planar gravity works in Spelljammer, quote unquote planar gravity. So when you have a zero space between the gravity planes, or on the gravity plane, it has zero gravity because it's bobbing free float. It's not on a deck. It's neither up nor down. It's literally zero gravity. And this is a problem for people that fall off of a boat. If I fall off the boat, I have zero, like I'm bobbing along here, I'm in zero gravity, and I'll eventually leave the space of the ship. And once I'm out of the ship's space, I'm now just basically floating on my own. I don't get the benefits of the air that's in here. I now take my own air bubble, which will run out in a minute for myself, unless I have some other means of providing oxygen to myself. I'm going to be dead basically within 5 minutes. So I'm going to actually push this up to put it in the center of where it's at. And I'm going to extend the base down here to counteract. So this top end here and this bottom here have basically the same mass. So I'm building like this for now. So if I were to have, I could have, like, our mecha could fly in through here and then just hop up here and kick around inside up here if we wanted to. But that would mean that there would be, this would be a security protocol issue, where anyone coming through could potentially get into the military side when they're not supposed to be able to get there. So what I'm thinking is that we will have a supply, like this is the easiest way to have a supply claw to work along the central axis. And yeah, this is technically a roof here that we're looking at, even though it's being presented as a floor. It's actually a roof. But speaking of roofs, I'm going to have the mecha deploy topside up here instead, so that this is all topside. From here on, this is topside. So I'm going to have the mecha far away. I don't know, far away, or maybe where do we want them? Do we want them here? I'm thinking about putting the face of the dwarf here, because you always have a face. You always have a dwarven face carved into your mountain. That's like a must. That's a must, would say Tinifer. Park and Rec. But we can build basically a tower facility here with trebuchet and shit on it for like a proper castle deck, which would be like the prow or the helm of the Dwarven King that's going to be carved into the side of this, like that. And we still have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 350. This is 350 feet of space here. And keeping in mind, like a hammerhead ship shark thing is only this big. So like you could theoretically, if you drop the masts, you could basically float a hammerhead ship through the belly here and load up and then unload things and then have it head out and then go do its own thing elsewhere. Bye-bye, little fishy. So having this be, let's see, put that in the central point here. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our central gravity point here. We'll keep that. Right now I'm just kind of trying to make an interesting shape for something fun. But each of these squares is 50 feet, so there is a lot of space available. I'm thinking no, the mecha hangar here would be. I like this as like a front citadel fortress type thing, but I don't want the mecha coming out top because I like the idea of materials here being able to move to here to a workshop for the mecha to make it easier to work on them close to where materials are going to be coming in. So this would be military storage, and this would be civilian storage. Let's see. I'm seeing text. Let me catch up with whoever's texting.
What's up? I love it.
Yeah, physics are crazy. Spelljammer is a really neat setting, and I like that they kept that planar gravity idea. It's really fun. It's just a fun thing. Let's trim that down a bit there, and I want to build. I think. Yeah, we can build the hangar. Well, we can build the mecha hangar here. I don't know. What maybe here's my current thinking. I'm reconsidering the situation because I love that central shaft. What I'm thinking currently is that that'd be a good way to do it. So the mecha hangar is here, and it just drops. So you can just drop mecha, and now they're in zero gravity, and then you can just slingshot them out of the base. So in combat, we're going to keep the passage clear because it's military operations. I'm thinking about having a second, smaller flight deck here. Yeah, so Mecha can deploy both from the central shaft as well as directly from the Mecha hangar. So we're going to have a flight deck here. Again, it's 50 feet up from the common deck. From the central shaft. Thank you. So this will be basically the bridge, I guess, up here. We'll mark this with a 1. 1 bridge. 1. And then 2 mecha hangar. 3 central shaft. 4 cargo hold. Those are the 4 main components, but then we also need 5. We need a barracks for our crew, and we need a workshop, an armory, and let's see, cargo hold is a storehouse. Central shaft is just its own thing. Mecha hangar is unique to the Bastion campaign that we're running. Bridge is a move facility. The barracks is barracks as written. The workshop is the workshop as written. The armory is an armory as written. Then we're going to need gun pods, weapon stations for siege weapons. So 8 This is horrible. This is super sketch right now, but that's okay. 8 and 8, 8, and 8. Turrets. 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 And turrets. That's the general idea, I think, of how this place is going to be laid out. And from a frontward perspective, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see text. Give me a hot second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. What's up? Ship's going to fight a dark prism, absorbing all the starlight, causing worlds to die. Does, in fact, sound like a Spelljammer plot, and it's just a really cool song with one of the best. Starlight Brigade. Huh. I am not familiar with that. Drop a link. Drop a link in the Discord so I can take a look at it later. That sounds awesome. Forward facing, let's make it 200. Let's start at 200 feet. Yeah, that feels pretty good. We can do that. And we got the castle deck up here. Insert Dwarven King. Gunpowder turrets down here. Put flanky turrets here. Well, we have turret station up top here. The helm. Yeah, that's feeling about right. That's hilarious. Ah, man, that's great. Yep. Like little gates that close, right? That's where those little jaggedy teeth are coming from. Something like that. So that's going to give us plenty of space to fuck around and find out with. It's not fully occupying all of the 500-foot space, but it is the length of it, and there's enough mass to basically call it 500 feet in size. Excuse me. Very, very rough draft here. It was most played song of the year, and it was released back in... I don't know that offhand. Huh. thinking about this real quick. Hold on. I don't want to put anything in the front obstructing that. It's decent. Yeah, that's not a bad idea to have that 0 point there. Because I mean, you could technically bounce and bob along here just by kind of like you wouldn't be 0 weight. You'd be able to bounce off like when you're bouncing around, you basically just be able to bounce off of the quote unquote ceiling that's constantly going to be pushing you down, but it's within reach. So you're at 0 gravity when you're here, and you could touch the roof here to push yourself along at 0 gravity. That would actually be a really easy landing. God, that's really interesting. I actually like that. Huh. Yeah, I think I'm hip to that. I want to do something fun and just make a lump down here. Let's add to this down here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make that a little taller. Bring these in a little bit better. No, yeah, that's appropriate down here. That's right. So we'll get rid of that. We'll go here. We'll go like that and that. We'll go 8. 8. And then 8 in the back. 8, 8, 8. 8. 8. 8. And then through the back, 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so there's 7 of these total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turrets. Okay, so each turret mount section can have up to 8 dice. 8 dice of damage. So what does that mean when we're looking at a turret station? Sorry, up to 10 dice. So say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know why I drew it like that. I don't know what I'm trying to do right now. Let's step past that. Let's look at what our starting damage is going to be like. Let's build out a turret. So turret. I know I'm scratching at this right now, but we'll convert this all into actual text when we're done. I just want to go with the flow process. So if we go with a trebuchet as basically a heavy barrage weapon, that has a reload score of 7, and it does 1d8 times 10 damage. I was talking about working in groups of 10. That would be related to the reload score. So we want to take groups up to reload score of 10. Trebuchets are a reload score of 7. They require 7 people to man them. And let's see, if we were to add, let's add a pair of ballista to this array here. That would be a 3, which does 1d4 times 10 damage. Let's put another ballista into the area, which is also a 1d4 times 10. And then we have harpoon flingers, which have a reload score of 1 and only do 2d8 damage each. But if we had, say, so that's going to be 7, 10, 13 people to operate these siege weapons fully. 13, 10, so we could have, let's go with 5 HP harpoon flingers. Because they don't do as much damage, but their reloading is super fast. So they're really good anti-personnel weapons. Also, they're really good for attacking fighter craft that are smaller than 50 feet. If a target is smaller than 50 feet, siege weapons are at disadvantage to hit them, and if they have any cover, they can't be attacked at all. So you want to have a mix of both siege weapons and mounted scale weapons for anti-personnel and dealing with smaller craft. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bump, 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 bump. 2d8. 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 That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's technically 10d8 worth of damage, or what could also be called d8 times 10. So we have 2d8 here between these 3 siege weapons. Essentially, we have 2d4, which is basically 1d8 plus 1d8. So it's effectively 2d8 times 10 damage there. Or we have the 5 harpoon flingers firing, which is basically d8 times 10 as a group together. Also, if I'm going to fire these 3 weapons together, their reload score is 13. If I fire these 3 weapons together, their reload score is 5. So these 5 reload score, when I'm rolling a Bastion die to issue a command to have siege weapons fire, I'm going to roll a d20 plus the rank, which in this case we have second rank crew, so it's going to be d20 plus first, second, third, fourth, fifth rank is d4, d6, d8, d10, d12, just like the Bastion dice. So second rank is a d6. Our characters are 5th level; they're using d6s. When you issue a command to fire a siege weapon, you make your attack roll like normal for combat, which is a d20 plus a Bastion die, and your command stat. Like if I'm using charisma as my command ability, then say I'm a bard and I have an 18 in charisma, then I'm going to at 5th level do d20 plus d6 plus 4 because I've got say an 18 in my charisma, so d20 plus d6 plus 4, hit armor class 16. Good job. And then I look at what was the result of my command die. If the result of the command die is equal to or less than if the result on the command die is equal to or higher than the reload score, the weapon automatically reloads and is ready to fire again as part of the act of issuing the command to attack. The team operated so efficiently that they aimed, fired the weapon as commanded, and they already reloaded the weapon for your next command. If the reload die is lower than the reload score, then you fail to communicate, and each siege weapon that fired now has to be issued a separate order or wait until the end of combat to reload the weapon. And you can reload a weapon with an attack, a bonus action, or a reaction. You can issue a command to fire as an attack or as a bonus action. So there you go. So a full barrage of a 1 turret fire would be trebuchet and 2 ballista, which would be doing effectively 2d8 times 10 damage. And like we were talking about, like say 100-foot cloaker, like a cloaker kaiju. A cloaker is a CR8. I think a CR8 creature has 92 hit points, but if it's 100 feet in size, it'll have 292 hit points because it got kaiju, so it has more hit points now. And so this 2d8 times 10 damage could do up to 160 damage, but will most likely do around 80 some odd damage to it. And it has 292 damage. It can take 3 or 4 hits like that before the cloaker gets killed. So it's going to do everything it can to stay out of being fired upon directly in combat from these carriers. So I'm just doing some erasing over here. 2d8. There we go. So the reload. So we have second rank crew. Do we have second rank crew? Second rank crew is pretty rare. So I'm actually going to do an oracle check to ask, is it a first rank or is it a second rank crew? And is it a first rank crew? Is it a second rank crew? Yes, it is. Okay, you've got a second rank crew. So they're NPCs that are effectively soldiers or like mercenaries. So they're effectively like CR, 1/8 CR. They've got like less than 10 hit points each. But they've had so much practice and seen so much siege battle that they've advanced their rank in combat to second rank, even though their CR is only 1/8. Their CR will never improve, but as they face more and more battles, their renown will continue to grow. And once they hit different, like 3, I think it's 3 for first rank, second rank, level 5 times 15, so 3, 15, 27, 39, and 51. Those are the number of battles that the NPCs will have to experience and survive to gain. Every time they survive a battle, they gain a point of renown. So they're going to start at second rank right now, which is going to be anywhere from 15 to 27 points. Let's roll 2d8 minus 1 and see what the result is, to see how close are they to getting third rank. Because the characters we can keep track of what rank these guys are and how many battles are they involved in, and every time it's another chalk mark that we're adding up to eventually get the third rank. And if things pace well, they could potentially be third rank when the characters get to 9th level, when they themselves would become third rank. So they've got 27 points plus 2d8. Let's make it 26 points plus 2d8. That makes it easy. No, it's 14 points plus 2d8, and they need 27. So they have 14. I rolled a 2. That's 16. And they have 18 points. So they need 27. They have 18 now. If we can get into 9 battles, we'll get into 9 battles before the campaign is over for sure. Like ship battles, but we might have a lot more. So they have 18. They have renown of 18, second rank crew. A second rank crew drops the score of 1 ballista. Ballista is 1, and the trebuchet drops to 5. So you take the reload score of the weapon, like here at 7, minus the rank of the crew. So a first rank crew would reduce the trebuchet to 6, but a second rank crew reduces the trebuchet to 5. And the ballista are normally 3, they drop down to 1. So all I have to do is roll 1 or better on my command die, and that ballista will automatically reload to fire again. But it's only D4 times 10, so it's like on average going to be like around 20 damage that it's going to deal. That's not a lot of damage when it comes to kaiju. So you get to fire them often. It's like attacking with a dagger. You just get to hit a lot with it. So their combined reload score is 5 plus 1 plus 1. So reload score is 7, and they're rolling a D6 is the command die. So it's literally impossible if we fire all these weapons together. The reload score can't get below 1. So it's impossible to roll a 7 on a D8. But when the characters get to 9th level, they will have, well, if the crew gets to 3rd rank, this will drop to 4, and now it's only a reload score of 6, which is possible on a D6. But at 9th level, they'll be rolling a D8 on their command die. And if the crew is still only 2nd rank and the characters are 9th level, the crew are only operating at 2nd rank. So even though the characters can roll a D8, it's only effective as a D6 because the characters are more of a commander than the NPCs are soldiers. So the soldiers can't follow the orders of their commander as efficiently as the commander can issue those orders. If, for instance, the characters are 2nd rank below level 9, and they get so many battles that the crew becomes third rank. The crew is now outpacing the quality of commands of the characters. The crew could be rolling D8s, but until the characters get the 9th level, they're only going to be operating as a D6 because they're not being issued orders efficiently enough for them to make use of their full capabilities. Even though at third rank, the reload score would still only be 6, the character's only rocking the D6. By the time they get the 9th level with a third rank crew, they're going to be rocking a D8, and they only have to roll a 6, 7, or 8 on the D8 to be able to hit that reload score. Or they could drop the ballista and instead just roll the trebuchet on that D8, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. They've got, a good chance of like a 65% chance of succeeding. So that's basically how the system breaks down. And when they attack with all those weapons, they'll do 2d8 times 10 damage, like we were talking about. So, good times. There are multiple turrets like this. And then when you're not, let's see, crew is 3/1, 3/1, 7/5 for now. So we actually have a crew of 13 with a reload score of 7 right now. And those 13 crew are either going to be using trebuchet, ballistas, or harpoon flingers. So there's enough crew between the ballistas that you could stop using ballistas and instead fire harpoon flingers because they can attack small targets less than 50 feet in size. So sometimes you're going to want to switch to harpoon flingers. And then you could have the 7 trebuchet crew switch over to either just working the ballistas for low reload scores to provide heavy support to the harpoon flingers, or they could just stay set on the trebuchet waiting for a clear shot to fire a big fucking heavy stone at a target if they stick their head out. So that's the turrets that we have, and we have how many again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 of these crew. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 trebuchet teams. Our characters can only command up to sets of 10. So this turret is complete unto itself. So if the characters want to issue commands to the carrier ship instead of using action economy with their mecha, like for air support, each character can command 1 turret crew. And there's 7 turret crews. So we aren't let's say there's 7 turret stations, but we only have 5 characters. So the characters are only going to be able to or basically command at most 1 turret station each, total of 5. So some of these turret stations are going to go unused. I'm thinking one of these and one of these are currently unmanned. So we got 2 on the bottom and we've got 3 up top. So that's a total of 5 turrets that the characters command. If they all commit to firing turret stations, they can be, raining down 2d8 times 10 damage each. There you go. So we're gonna have 2 of the command stations inoperative right now, but with 5 turret stations active, requiring 13 crew each of 2nd rank. Holy shit, that's a lot of people. That begs the question: do we even have enough? Do we have enough crew to be 2nd rank for all those battle stations, all those turret stations? The dice say, yeah, this thing is like fully loaded. So, not fully. We're missing 2 turret stations. But of the crew that we have 5 times 5 turret crew. That's 13 times 5 is 65. So we need a minimum 65 crew for just the turrets. And then we have to worry about internal stuff. So we're looking at the different facilities. Let's start making, let's do something a little bit more organized than this. So we'll go with open order. We'll go with turrets. 1 trebuchet. Turrets, weapon, crew, reload, damage. Crew is 7. Reload score is 5. Damage is 1d8 times 10. 1 ballista. Crew is 3. Reload score is 1. 1d4 times 10. Let's do crew, rank, and reload. Crew, rank, and reload. One harpoon flinger. Let's call harpoon for the fun of it. We know it's a harpoon flinger. Crew is 1. Rank is 2. Reload score is 1. 2d8. 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a turret. Total crew, 13, second rank. 18 renown. 18 of 27 renown. There. Second rank requires a second rank lifestyle to sustain them. First rank is poor, second rank is modest, third rank is comfortable, fourth rank is wealthy, and fifth rank is aristocratic. You want to maintain a lifestyle equal to the rank of your facilities or crew to make sure that they're getting basically paid at their worth. If you are second rank siege engineers, you faced 15 battles and survived. So you deserve more than a copper a day and some bullshit. You're going to get paid second rank wages, which in the Bastion system translates into the lifestyle that you maintain. 5 degrees of lifestyle, DCs are 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. At the beginning of each Bastion turn, if you aren't on a prolonged something that's higher than like second and third rank can make one lifestyle check per month. Like if they hit a lifestyle that you like, you can sustain it for up to a month if you lock those points in. The way that since the carrier ship is guaranteed, it's basically paid by taxpayers, right? Your police force, your taxpayer funded. So we're going to guarantee you the minimum lifestyle necessary for the crew. And since they're a second rank crew, we are automatically going to be maintaining a modest lifestyle that is permanent for 2 points. So we'll always have 2 BP invested. Yeah, 2 BP. No, 2 BP. There we go. Permanent 2 BP. So we'll always have a modest lifestyle. It's not poor. It's humble. You live in a barracks, for God's sake. You flip cards and you make dick jokes. It's what else are you gonna do? You go on shore leave occasionally. You get drunk and have fun, and then you return to the ship and you wait for something to shoot or you scrub stuff. So I'm thinking a lot of this trebuchet crew can double for the armory and the workshop and the labor for the storehouses. I'm thinking they can pull double duty on those. So that to me makes sense. We're going to have right. So we're going to let's start building out the actual facilities. We've predetermined that they have 13 Bastion points, and we can fudge that if we want to. But anywhere from 1 to 10 Bastion points is first rank. When you get your 11th Bastion point, you're now a second rank Bastion, and you're capable of producing second rank facilities. So from 11 to 20 is second rank. From 21 to 30 is third rank. From 31 to 40 is fourth rank, and at 41 plus Bastion points, it's now fifth rank, and there's no limit to how many Bastion points you can have once you hit fifth limit. fifth rank. The likelihood is that you're just going to start diversifying. So when you get a Bastion point, you can spend that Bastion point to, you can permanently spend a Bastion point to create a new facility of first rank, and then every Bastion turn thereafter, up to the rank of your up to the rank of the Bastion, you can upgrade the facility each week, assuming again that you can keep importing more people to do that. So we already know for the Dwarven Citadel that we need a helm, which can be piloted by NPCs because we're going to make it a facility. We need barracks. We need turrets, which we have here. We need an armory. We need a mecha hangar. We need a workshop, a smithy, a storehouse for the goods that we're transporting for cities between towns. And do we have anything else on here? Barracks. Thank you. Oh, you already have barracks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 facilities total. Let's see. The storehouse, we can only have up to second rank facilities. So, facility. Rank. Die, in the die size. So a barracks, we can go dive into our supplements. We will eventually publish these books. We're playtesting to make sure that all the irons are wrinkled out, and that's super fun. And then we will build the book. We'll build the book here online, and once the book is built, we'll do page layouts, and then we'll illustrate the book cover and all the interior art. And once all the interior art is built, we'll seal it up into a PDF, and we'll publish it probably on the DMsGuild. So it's going to take a while for us to build out this book, but holy shit, it's a goodie. But yeah, anyone that's interested in this stuff, you can join my Discord server, which is linked down below. Let's just do a sponsor real quick. Hi, I'm Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online. If you think this shit is cool, thank you. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications of when we're live in the future. For anyone that's interested, the campaign workbench that we're currently working on is linked here. The actual Spelljammer combat and exploration document, where I'm pulling all of these ship combat shit from, is here on the DMsGuild, which I just clicked the link to. If you click the free preview, you can literally read the whole damn thing. So we recently just updated, last month we updated spellcasting with circle magic. So we're now using the circle magic rules from the Heroes of Faerun book to amplify spells while you're sitting in the helm of a ship. But like all the fighter combat stuff and all that was down here in the combat chapter. And we can click on down here into looking at siege weapons. I guess I could just go to the table of content and look up weapons and crew. There we go. Rams, range weapons. Here we go. How expensive are trebuchet? Was I right about 1,500 gold? It might not be that much. Weight, 15,000. Hit points. Cost. Oh, it's only 400 gold to make a trebuchet. So yeah, ooh, wow. That means a second rank community can make a trebuchet, 1 per week. So once the team gets into second rank facilities, they can start producing their own trebuchet. Mangonels are 300 gold. Those are also second rank. 200 gold for a ballista. That's also second. Anything that's more than 100 gold. But 101 to 400 gold is second rank. So you need second rank facilities to make these. You could technically make these with first rank facilities, but they can only process 100 gold per week. So if the ballista costs 200 golds, it'll take them 2 weeks to build it. And because it's first rank, they're going to have to roll twice. A second rank facility can work in lengths of 1 month. So it only takes 1 week to make a mangonel. But if they had a work or like let's go down to the trebuchet, which is 400 gold. That's exactly the price point for a second rank facility to make per week. 400 gold per week. And once you get the third rank, they start working in months. It'd be 4,000 gold per month, which means that over the course of 4 Bastion turns, a third rank facility could make 10 trebuchet. But if I wanted to, I could make in 1 week, I could make a single trebuchet. not a problem. And it'd be easy for that third rank facility to do it because they're rolling D20 plus D8 plus 3 as opposed to D6 plus 2. It's much more likely they'll succeed at that. This is only a DC 15 to make any of these siege weapons. A second rank facility with D20 plus D6 plus 2 doesn't have a lot of margin of error. But third rank, D8 plus 3, it's going to be much more likely to be able to succeed at that roll. Anyway, so Bastion rank. So how big do we need? We have to look at size. Rank die, crew, and let's just call them NPC, and size. So storehouse is the most important one. We can't be higher than second rank. So it's only going to use a D6 on whatever it does. The number of NPCs needed for second rank is 3. But the problem is that we're servicing third ranks. We have a third rank community that is providing resources for third rank Bastion in Scabbers Cove. So even though we're not third rank, we can still transport 3 ranks worth of material. We just need to have an ample space, which is going to require 36 squares, which is a 30 by 30 or a 20 by 45, whatever. So let's go look at our map real quick. This is the storage level right here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 250 feet wide, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 400 feet long. 250 by 400 foot space. We have, as the book says, ample space to be able to incorporate that. And to be in spirit, let's go with 5 hirelings, just to make sure we have the personnel enough to handle the amount of supplies that the third rank facility would presumably be providing. Rank, it has to be at least 30 by 30, which could be, let's go 20 by 45. Does that work out? $20 times 45 equals 9. Yeah, that works out. So we'll build a storage hold that's 20 feet wide, 45 feet long. We'll drop that into the structure. That's easy enough to do. The next thing that we need to concern ourselves with is a barracks. Yeah, D6. A barracks needs, a second rank barrack needs a minimum of 3 3 workers to make the barracks work, like people, the cook and stuff like that, to make it operate. But okay, so a barrack. Let's go look at this real quick. This is fun. This is cool. Let's go look at the barracks. When issuing a defend order, no, that's not what I needed. Attack order, barracks recruit. It's down in personnel. It's down. Okay, so anyway, well, since we're here, I'll just stay on point. First rank can have a first rank barracks is able to provide and manage for 10 people. A second rank barracks is able to oversee, maintain, and provide for 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people. Like, if you have a 5th rank barracks, it's basically a city, is like literally a city unto itself, providing all the food, materials, hospital, supplies, and entertainment to keep those mercenaries in check. So, and it also requires a massive, like basically a city-sized space. So you would have to have like a city-sized ship as a carrier for a crew for 10,000 soldiers with all the supporting facilities to back them up. It's basically its own city, which is how we built the Pirates of Lazar. Every single NPC in the Pirates of Lazar act as mercenaries that are capable of combat. And when they're not in combat, they're just doing all the other stuff that you would need to do to keep the population going, like farming mushrooms in the pits, and like doing sewage treatments, and cooking eggs, and minding the chickens, and fixing stuff, and building new beds, and making space. Anyway, blah blah blah. It's its own city, right? Like literally. So a second rank barrack is capable of providing for up to 100 people limit. We require a 10-foot space, 5 by 10, for each individual in the barrack, so they can have their own personal space. But then they also need to have like general community space. So each individual, the minimum for each individual is going to be basically a 10 by 10 space. And that can be pooled and stretched and changed. Like you have like 5 by 10 chambers, like shitloads of rooms lined up. Or you could have like a 20 by 20 space that has some bunks in it, and then pool all that into like a 40 by 40 commons room where these different bunk chambers are positioned around. But between all of them, it's basically a 10 by 10 space for each. So if we're looking at the turrets being the primary concern for like where's most of our personnel coming from, and we've got 5 active turrets, and each active turret requires 13 troops. That's going to be 65 people. That means that the minimum that we need for our carrier is going to be a crew of 65, which is going to be 650 feet, which could be 65 by 10. Or how can I divide up? Yeah, 5 by 13. So I could do 25 by 13 times 5 is 65. So yeah, is that right? 25 by 65. Let's verify that. As opposed to 13 times, no, sorry, was it 67? Sorry, 65 times 20 is 1,300 divided by 25 is 52. So 25 by 55. 25 times 55 equals 1,375. Plenty of space. So I need to carve out inside of the structure a 25 foot by 55 foot space. What if it was 65 by 20 equals divided by 50, 26. So 50 by 30. That's okay. So 1,300 divided by 50. 50 feet by 26 feet. Yeah, 50 by 25. Close enough. 50 by 30. 50 by 30. For 65. Population. Let's do it like this. 50 by 30. $65 bunk. But it's supposed to have 7. 7 times 13 equals, it should be 91 minimum, which will take us to 100. So let's go what? What am I doing? Hold on. 65 people times is a 10 by 10 area is what we need. Is 650. Divided by 50. 13. So 15 by 50 would be sufficient. You know what? I think we're gonna make some changes to that. What I'm thinking is for barracks, let's make it 20 feet of area, not 10 by 10, but let's make it 20 by 20 area that's needed. Let's do it like this. Barracks special. Barracks requires 20 by 20 space for each soldier housing in a barracks. First rank, second rank. We'll just consolidate the information here because it should be third rank, fourth rank, fifth rank. Facility rank. Let's see. Total housing. We'll call it housing area. No, let's do it like this. Per rank for each soldier. 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000 up to 100,000. That's crazy. Yeah, so that 20 by 20 space, and they're gonna have to expand at third rank, but they won't need more. They won't need more housing. They just need larger area to accommodate the higher status. They're demanding more, so they demand a high. Like once they get the third rank, they'll require a comfortable lifestyle, and that 30 by 30 space for each soldier housed in that barracks would certainly express that comfortable lifestyle. I've got 30 feet of space for like a 30 by 30 foot space for just me. I've basically got my own apartment, which luckily our structure can support. But if we're going to keep pushing up levels, we're not going to be able, like at some point they're just going to stagnate like at second or third rank, or they're going to keep ascending in rank and go find someplace else to work, and we're going to lose them, and then they're going to get replaced with second rank because of the space that we're able to provide, or third rank. So interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see. So it's 65. So what is it? 20 times 20 times 65. It's actually 26,000 square feet that we need. Divide that by 50. Divide that by 50. I need 11 squares of space. So let's look at our math again. 11 squares. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, we can fit those in here. We got plenty of space. We can easily fit a barracks right up here towards the top, where all the turrets are at, and just a little bit up from the hangar bay. So like basically at this midpoint, we've got tons of room. We could do like 3 wide and 4 deep. That would be plenty. That'd be 12 squares worth of space. That'd be plenty of crew. Yeah, plenty of crew. We'll go with that. Bunks, so 50 foot square, 12 times 50 foot squares. Good. Here. Let's see. The helm. Yeah, we can call it the helm. So a helmsman can work a helm for 8 hours shifts. You need to have three helmsmen to keep a ship going 24 hours a day. So it's going to be on the night shift. You're going to have swing shifts, yada, yada. So that means that second rank is appropriate because that requires a crew of 3. Again, our die roll here for any kind of like maneuvering that we're going to do with the characters are off ship and they're having NPCs perform maneuvers for them. The characters can't use their piloting check. Again, it's going to be a command check for the piloting, for the pilot check that they're going to make. Like the ability check for the piloting rolls is essentially going to be like a Bastion check, D20 plus D6 plus the ability modifier for your character that's commanding the crew at that moment. Second rank requires Rumi. Is that it? Rumi a comment? No, Rumi is 4th, I think. Rumi. No, it is Rumi. Spacious and vast. Thank you. Rumi. 20 by 20. There we go. A 20 by 20 space for the helm. That's plenty for a chair and like other shit going on. Orrery station and yada yadas. Trebuchet rank. Turrets isn't technically a facility, so we don't have to worry about that. Armory. So armory, we want the armory to be big enough to be able to repair and build new trebuchet as we need them. That's also going to be a D6. 3 NPC crew. I think we're going to want to have the hangar. I think we're going to want to have the armory be big enough to accommodate both mecha and new siege weapons. All siege weapons fit inside a 20-foot space except for gift cannons, which are very rare magic items. They are stupid. No, they're rare magic. They're like 10,000 gold, I think. So they're rare magic items, 3rd rank. That's above this. So rank 2, there we go. Size, I want to make the armory and the workshop are going to need to be big enough to accommodate mecha. So I'm thinking 5 mecha times 50 feet. That's 250 plus 2 more squares. I think what I want is 7. Let's just be roomy. Go 10 times 50 foot square. And then the mecha hangar, we got 5 mecha that'll eventually potentially be 50 feet in size. That's 250 feet plus 2 squares. 250, that's 300, that's 7, 50 by 50 squares. We only have 2nd rank hangar bay right now. That's the max we could possibly have. So it's going to be, let's go with 8 times 50 foot squares. And a workshop. The workshop doesn't need to be, the smithy doesn't need to be as big. So that can be D2, that's a D6. 3 NPCs, we can do, like, let's say 30 by 30. That's roomy, technically. It's spacious. No, it's roomy. It's more than they need. But that'll work. And then the workshop, we want to make the workshop big to work with the hangar mecha, the mecha hangar. So D6. Also 3. This will be... actually, we can make this... the armory can be 4 times 50. The mecha hangar needs to be very large. And the workshop also needs to be large, but not as big as the hangar. So we'll do 6 50-foot squares. We can accommodate all of that. We have plenty of space inside this mountain to drop all these facilities. It's going to be a matter of mapping out and connecting them with each other, which will technically be fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. Helm. Okay, so that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 20, 23. Chunk. 23. And we have 65 total. So that's actually really good. We have a lot more. We have more people than we need facilities, which means we'll have a lot of people scrubbing and doing busy work and helping out. We're basically going to have more people on hand for facilities than we need out of combat, which means that we're going to have a lot of space open for cross-training and promoting. Once these guys, if these guys train themselves up to 3rd rank through combat, they can act as 3rd rank characters for manning the facilities that we install. We were talking about earlier, you have to go and recruit NPCs equal to the rank of the facilities that they're going to be operating. Military provides skills, so time served is time skilled. As they gain rank through kaiju and other combat, they'll eventually become third rank, and they will qualify for overseeing the operations of all of these facilities as they are upgraded to higher ranks. So that's actually working out really nicely. This is really smooth, man. That's really smooth. Military operations are really fucking good, man. This is great. I'm gonna hit enter here, and I'm going to just drop a line in here to band that out. There we go. And what size is this? 12. Blip and 12. So we have 2 open orders right now that don't need, well, actually one of the orders is going to be supply route. Hauling supplies. So we're going to be basically investing so how many points have we invested? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I'm going to knock this smithy down to first rank. We're still going to leave it 30-30, but we're going to put 2 people in there. So now we're down to 22 people. Because we don't need, that puts us at 13. We don't need a second rank smithy because it's just doing like light repairs, like fix this door and weld that shut, stuff like that. So we don't have to worry about the smithy. Means it puts us at the 13 points that we wanted. We're permanently locking in. Actually, that should only be 1 point. I know modest lifestyle does require 2 points. Hauling supplies. We can't put more than 2 points in. So every time we haul third rank for Scaver Cove, there is a risk of something mishappening with those supplies, because our carrier isn't third rank yet. So anytime it's attempting a third rank haul, there is a chance of mishap occurring. So that's where our mishaps are going to be lying. It's always going to be involving third rank. Until our crew gets to third rank and we pump in enough Bastion points to make this thing third rank, then 2 Bastion points here. This doesn't require any Bastion points because it's just an ongoing order that's been issued. Perpetual. So that's just going to lock that order down as always being used for hauling supplies. That's just its ongoing default status. Our characters can override that at any time for investigations or police work, or patrol and protection. But that leaves an open order because you get your rank, and then you also maintain your lifestyle. So everyone can maintain their lifestyle for free. It requires a die roll, but you can. And we replace it with a permanent 2 Bastion points. So we have to worry about that. So that's 2 points there. That's just an order. Because we're maintaining a lifestyle of second rank, we have to expend a number of Bastion points equal to the rank of the lifestyle that we're maintaining for it to remain fixed with supplies. If we didn't invest the Bastion points, we'd have to re-roll the lifestyle every week. And if we ever rolled below 15, our entire crew would become demoralized, and they would only operate at first rank. So they'd become worth D4s instead of D6s, and that would completely screw the sequencing of our turrets. We'd have to drop the trebuchet and just rely more on ballista fire because the trebuchet becomes unreliable. So we're actually in a kind of a precarious place right now like that. But that just leaves us for room to grow. So that's the hauling supplies. This open order is basically the characters, the players can decide to do something with that order. If we're going to, say, upgrade the armory to third rank, that means we can't use the armory this Bastion turn because it's being upgraded. It's under renovations. We can't use it this turn. But at the end of the week, we can make use of it again. So when you're upgrading or otherwise utilizing facilities, it requires you an order to do so. While our Bastion naturally has 3 orders that is capable, one is always taken up by the lifestyle. In this circumstance, one is always being taken up by hauling supplies. That leaves one open. We could potentially spin, and that order can be issued to any of these facilities, or just a general order, like recruit more people. That's a general order. Or make money. Like, that's your lifestyle. That's a general order. So there's a few general orders that can just be issued to the Bastion as a whole. But for the most part, orders are for facilities. And like the characters could request new magical equipment from the armory, or new gear from the smithy, or new gear or magic items from the workshop, or make alterations to my mecha in the mecha hangar. There you go. Those are things that you can do. And so each of those requires an order. We have one order for free, and each facility can carry out one order at a time. So the characters get 1 Bastion point per turn, per Bastion turn, that they can spend in any of the facilities that are in the community that they're operating in right now, or on their Bastion itself. So we were actually talking about that in our stream this morning. We walked through all the stuff that the characters had done on our first session. So go check out the Spelljammer Subclasses, the Art Jam Spelljammer Subclasses episode 13, which was today. And I'll spend about 15-20 minutes talking about what we did in the campaign and how we did it, which I'll eventually break out into a separate video. Carrier ship, Dormant Citadel. Here's our facilities. Here's our turrets. Here's our storage size. So we now have, and these are all assumedly anywhere from 10 to 50 feet in height, basically. So the hangar bay, the mecha workshop, the armory, those will be 50 feet in size, 60 feet to accommodate massive scale mecha that we could eventually have. But the other facilities don't have, the smithy doesn't have to be more than 20 feet. The storehouse will probably be 50 feet high. The barracks doesn't need to be more than 10 feet high. The helm doesn't need to be more than 10 feet high. So there's these different levels. So we've got permanent 2 Bastion points here. 2 points, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15. So it has 15 Bastion points. So we'll leave it like that. And the team each get 1 Bastion point. If they wanted to permanently sacrifice those 5 Bastion points that they get, they could put it into the Dwarven Citadel and give it enough. They'd need 21 points, so they'd only be at 20 points. They'd still be shy 1 point, but they would permanently lose their Bastion point because they're investing it into a facility or improving a facility. So facilities are permanent, and orders and sustaining things is temporary. So you can temporarily spend points to issue orders or to sustain long tasks. It's going to take 4 weeks for me to make this ship, and I hit the proper armor, the difficulty class. I succeeded at the task on the first go. It's a 3rd ranked task I'm trying to perform. I'm now going to lock 3 Bastion points for the entire month that's going to take to make that thing. And at the end of those 4 Bastion turns, when the item is completed, I'll get my 3 Bastion points back to use elsewhere, and I get the thing that we made, because that's how that facility invested its time and effort over the past 4 Bastion turns, which will be 16 adventures in this campaign. That's a long haul. That's nearly half of the campaign. The whole campaign is lasting 8 Bastion turns, or 8 weeks, from level 5 to 13. And at that point, we decide, the plan is to conclude it at that point and start up something different, a different playtest of some sort. So we'll probably do Strixhaven after we finish doing Spelljammer. Yeah, because I want to use the Bastion mechanics and college credit system that we developed on stream. In an actual, I'll probably actually run Strixhaven. I'll probably also go from, I think that goes from 3 to 12. So I think that's where that sits. We'll do the same. So we'll basically run Strixhaven. We'll mix in Candlekeep. We'll probably mix in some golden compass heists, and then just the Bastion Campaign stuff that we do, and that should be a really robust. Oh yeah, and then Mage Tower, the 5e rugby PvP combat system that we built. We'll have that in there too. So 3 campaign books, 2 alternate mechanical systems, a PvP system that we built using the Collar Mana system, and it'll be Strixhaven. So that'll be the beginning of 2027. That'll be my 2027 playtest campaign that I'm going to run. Strixhaven, a curriculum of kick-ass. Or Strixhaven kick-ass curriculum. Let's do it like that. So there's our facilities. Here's our turrets. We got those built out. We have all of our facilities. Let's then go into each of these separate facilities. And then, yeah, sure, turrets. Doesn't have a rank. It's second rank. D6, 13. We're going to put in parentheses 13. And the size is. Oh, what is the size? Let's go build a turret real quick. Trebuchets sit inside a 15-foot space. Ballistas occupy a 10-foot space. Harpoon flingers require a 5-foot space. Man. Sorry, I'm thinking things through. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's 9. $10. Yeah, let's just put them all up front. Good enough. I was trying to be fancy, but I don't think I need to be fancy. Here and here, there's a little bit of space to be able to walk by. Entrance into the Citadel here. And we'll probably have like a balcony. Oh, What if there's like a dome that recedes? That's super fun. Let's build. Yeah. I'll have an overhang like that, built over. And wall mounts, or rather cover. So, ballista stand. This is a ballista station. You have up to 3 characters occupying space with the ballista here. 3 NPCs occupying space with the ballista here. 7 NPCs occupying space with the trebuchet here. Get that straightened out. Nope, it doesn't have a cross like that. It's just a triangle. That's right. There we go. And there's plenty of room for ammo. Plenty of room for ammo. Plenty of walk room area back here. Very good. And this is basically a command station. And these are harpoon flingers. Basically the twisted T. There you go. So that's our basic battle station, or a turret platform with these 3 weapons. 3 siege weapons, 5 harpoon flingers, Bob's your uncle, and then a command station. So one character could actually be on a turret station and be lending action economy to all of these, or could be in the helm room attuned to an orrery station or the helm and be able to see, to view and communicate with the crew from this vantage point, or from this vantage point, or this vantage point, because you can see and be anywhere when you are attuned to, or rather when you're focusing on a helm or an orrery station or an eldritch cannon that's attached to the ship. That's a spell amplifier. When you focus through a spell amplifier, you can basically see anywhere or from any perspective on board the ship. Easy enough. So that's the basic of our grid, and yeah. So that's figured out. Now we're going to go through. Let's alphabetize these things just to make it easier on us. We're going to go through and look at the facilities and what each of those facilities can do for the crew. List those out so that the team knows what they can use their bastion points in this place for, or why they would bother. Workshop. Derp. Let's grab that. There, 10.5. Good. Barracks. Helm. Mecha hangar. Smithy. Storehouse. Smithy, storehouse, turrets we already have, and then workshop. I'm going to do workshop out of order, just for the lulz. And then turrets at the end because they're different. Yeah, that feels good. Let's grab this stuff here. Just to make things digestible. They're all 2 except for the Smithy. There. There. There, like that. D6, 3. Oh yeah, this will be easy. Armory. Copy barracks equals paste. Copy helm. Equals paste. Mecha hangar. Copy paste. Smithy.
Take your time with the timer.
And then storehouse. And workshop size. Occupies a 50 by 50 space. There. That's good. How are we doing on time? It's 8:30. You know what? I'm going to, how are we looking? Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut stream. It's 8:30. I got other things I need to do tonight, but when we come back on, we will be back on Thursday to continue work, and we will then go through each of the Bastion facilities and how and what does each one do, and we will walk through how each of these facilities benefit the players, so when they catch this stream before Saturday, they will be well versed in their ship and will be able to take some more time to make it look better. I'm not 100% on that shape yet, but I'm liking where we're going. But stay tuned. I got ideas, and we're gonna figure them out. So I'm just playing with the ideas of the carrier. I'm not 100% set on that guy yet, but I know the facilities that we need. These are all square. So we'll come back on Thursday. We'll go through what the mechanics are for each of these facilities and how they're going to benefit the players, and maybe some some meta strategy tips on how they might decide to implement them. And then we will carry on from there. But I'm going to be back. I'll be back streaming artwork for the Spelljammer Subclasses book cover. I'll be back doing that tomorrow morning. We do artwork Monday through Fridays in the morning, and then we do game design like this on Mondays and Saturdays, and sometimes on Thursdays. And since I'm ramping up and getting this campaign to basically, I'm setting up to be able to run itself, basically. So once we get these things in place, it'll be a lot easier for us to implement. So, thanks a lot for hanging out with me, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cut stream here for now. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I'll be back on Thursday night as well. And then we'll play test on Saturday. Saturday morning, we're going to start in on blue mana for converting Magic the Gathering cards into character class features for developing into subclasses. So if you think MTG and D&D stuff is cool, awesome. Like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, notifications, check out my books down below. Join my Discord server and Patreon, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks a lot. Cheers.